Judge refers neighbors to restorative justice in dispute over clothesline. Two neighbors facing unlawful wounding charges over dispute including a clothesline were referred to restorative justice when they appeared before Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Court on Tuesday. LaDonna Abraham told Senior Parish Judge Burrell that her neighbor Marlon James at the time had occupied a clothesline that belonged to her. When she requested this space, James reportedly questioned what he was supposed to do with his clothes. The disagreement escalated into a physical altercation, during which James is accused of punching Braham. Noting that James was dressed in a Jamaica Fire Brigade JFB brand shirt, Judge Burrell quit. "So, you really don't know how to put out fires?" James clarified that he works in procurement at the JFB. Judge Burrell responded, "Imagine, you go to prison because you punch a woman over clothesline." Both parties were referred to restorative justice. They are to return to court on January 16, 2025. Police Commissioner Dr. Kevin Blake calls on new inspectors to be a change within the JCF. Police Commissioner Dr. Kevin Blake has charged a new cohort of inspectors to be a change within the Jamaica Constabulary Force JCF and to play their part in its transformation. He gave the charge at the graduation ceremony for the second cohort of JCF inspectors in Kingston. Dr. Blake said the new inspectors will bridge the gap between the frontline officers and senior leadership. He congratulated the new inspectors and urged them to serve with passion.
You stand here far better prepared than you were when you began. You have already set a high standard for yourselves from the moment you had demonstrated that you have what it takes to have gotten here in the first place. And today is yet another milestone along that journey. As you prepare to take on the role of inspector, I encourage each of you to embrace the charge we have given you. Be an agent of change within the Jamaica Constabulary Force. You are the ones who will help guide and inspire your teams. You are the ones who will bridge the gap between frontline officers and our senior leadership. And in so doing, you will play your part in our transformation journey of our noble organization. Today is both a personal achievement and a step forward for the JCF as a whole. I am genuinely proud of you, of what you have accomplished, and I look forward in great anticipation and with optimism to see the impact that you will make. All the best, graduates, as you embark in this new chapter of your careers.
It's not a bolo work. The government has renamed its end-of-year work initiative the Constituency-Based Mitigation and Cleaning Program, while announcing a further allocation of $1.4 billion this year. Under the initiative, formerly known as Christmas Work Program, each constituency will be allocated $22 million, the same figure announced last year. Prime Minister Andrew Holness, who made the disclosure in a statement to Parliament on Tuesday, said the program is being announced earlier this year in response to recent weather events, including Tropical Storm Rafael, which affected the island last week, significantly impacting 58 roads and causing more than $600 million in damage, according to preliminary estimates. This is a routine initiative including strict oversight ensuring funds are utilized efficiently for road cleanage, drain cleaning, garbage collection and sanitization. It addresses specific priorities including reopening block roads, cleaning drains, road repairs and constructing minor retaining walls and culverts where possible under the program, he noted. Given a breakdown on how the funds are to be allocated, the Prime Minister noted that $10 million is to go towards road rehabilitation, with flexibility to reallocate up to $5 million for other categories if needed, allowing for a maximum of $15 million for road repairs. So members of Parliament have a certain pool allocated to their constituency. To be clear, the reason why we do this is to allow for greater impact on the community level. It is to give the members of Parliament the ability to respond to local pressures. $15 million, let me be clear, this cannot fix an entire road. It may not be able to give you more than 2 kilometers. If you're doing it a simple outlay, maybe 3, if you're doing it in sections. But that can repair an entire road. So the Member of Parliament has to use it to respond where necessary and where issues arise. So for example, you have a major pothole in an area that you want to deal with right away. There is a critical piece of road that people are complaining about for carrying goods to market, to get to school, and you want to correct some problems therefore intervention, he noted. Holness further noted that $6 million is allocated for bushing, with a minimum allocation of $3 million, but with the potential for $3 million reallocation for other categories, making a maximum of $9 million if necessary. In addition, he said there's a standard allocation of $3 million for garbage collection. This, he said, is not only to help with the cleanup of the entire Jamaica, but more importantly, to address the concerns that have been raised in the mosquito vector and dengue issue could resurface again. So I say to members of parliament that you should use these resources strategically to ensure the areas where mosquitoes could breed, particularly where you have old refrigerators, tires and so forth, you do so and clean up the area to keep that vector under control, he noted. The average allocation is $3 million, but we have allowed you the flexibility. If you don't need it in your area, the reallocation a maximum of $2 million away from the garbage collection, so you could take $2 million for garbage and put it elsewhere on bushing or wherever else, but the minimum expenditure should be $1 million in terms of removing bulky waste, the Prime Minister told the House. Holness said that the sum total to $3 million has been allocated for drainage cleaning, noting that small drains will be targeted, which are necessary to prevent flooding on roadways. The MP should really use it strategically. You want to be able to clean every drain, but certainly there we would have to identify a flooding risk where flooding could affect several houses on roads. You want to make sure that those drains are cleaned, he noted, noting that MPs are being allowed to make a relocation of $2 million away from this era if they so choose. The Prime Minister further pointed out that MPs don't get any money in their hands at all under the program, noting that he is announcing this in Parliament so that there is a transparency around the project and it is a way to ensure that MPs use the funding in a timely manner and in an effective manner. He added that the funds are available until the end of February, and if they are not used by the end of February, they will go back to the consolidated fund. He said the program will be implemented by the National Works Agency (NAA) and the National Solid Waste Management, which funds allocation directly to the necessary work in ensuring no deduction from agency fees. Further advisors will be issued to MPs to guide how the program is operationalized. I'm encouraging all members of Parliament to urgently put their programs together, bearing in mind all the procedures that have been followed. I'm also saying that the work should be done on roads and other infrastructure in a manner that shows a visible impact, he noted. He stressed that in carrying out the works under the program, bushing on a little whitewash is not enough, advising that if the MPs wish to beautify the constituency, this should be done by cleaning the bushes and moving the garbage. It makes no sense to just run a little bit of whitewash with the garbage is still there and the place is still overcrowded. This work must focus on making a visible, tangible impact on the plain points that the public experiences, he noted. Highlighting another aspect, the Prime Minister stressed that while the program is being implemented just before the Christmas season, it is not a Christmas work program. There is a notion that at a certain time of the year, particularly at Christmas, the government would make certain allocations that have previously been described as Christmas work. Some persons would use other terms which convey a kind of lower accountability, bolo work. Those days are gone. That doesn't exist anymore. Every resource that the government allocates for public work goes through a rigorous process of accountability. There is no money to be gotten without work to show for it, he noted. Remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.